Alright, here we go. This is a ranked 2v2 match on Chasm between the upper left-hand corner, the green team, Boomhower and Valinor. Very well known. And, as well as their opponents, Punktronica and rigelglen. Here in the bottom right-hand corner on the blue team, Punktronica using the Osprey, Rigel in the Neo, and Valinor and Boomhower with their typical combination of Neo and and Bomber. And lots of people specking this. Of course, this is a very high-profile match. There are probably a lot of people that see this on their friends list and go, dang, that needs to be a match I need to watch. And is exactly what I thought as well. Punk and Rigel being very organized here. Actually, never mind. There are two stray moneymakers over here. Rigel is getting them and bringing them over to the southern base. And Valinor already pushing 4 mid, has a T99, has a 2 Longhorn and a Dillo over here. And Boomhower going straight for the moneymaker harass. Does not get this, is attacking a leveler. They have not high-loaded him yet. I'm very, very surprised, especially since he's a bomber. I would expect someone to at least land, and Punktronica is doing that, and Boomhower is now trying to get away. He is slashing away at this Armadillo, does not get it. Rigel does pick it up, and he does go down to rigelglen there. They finally get Boomhower, but Valinor has completely cleared off his side of mid of the neutrals. Rigel does see this. Valinor is putting down Longhorn. It is pretty secure, actually. Rigel does take down that Longhorn, and Rigel actually does get taken down by Valinor right there. Punktronica in the Osprey, not doing his typical bomber harass, especially what he's very well known for in 1v1, doing his constant infantry drops and infantry spam when it comes to their opponent's bases. And right now, one T99 does get taken out from the neutral side, from the neutral on the blue side of mid. They do still have 4 lit bulbs here in the middle, and right now Valinor doing a quick jackal drop, dropping it for this leveler. It will get picked up and saved. Punktronica is putting it back down and is healing up the other one. Now Valinor going for the original leveler. He was attacking, of course, Punktronica to save this one. And Valinor is not stopping with this harass. Finally, the Seeker gets dropped, does thwart Valinor from this side, and Valinor is forced to get out of there. And right now, Green has a very good foothold on mid. This trench warfare is starting. Valinor with the bombs there does get a lot killed, and Boomhower and Valinor have mid very secure. There are a lot of units actually right here, just sitting on the other side of mid. This trench warfare is starting because, as you can see, there is one artillery here. It does get picked up, but they will start leapfrogging their units toward mid. But Boomhower and Valinor very organized, very used to working with each other, and there are so many units that have been ferried over from the other side that it was, you know, this is going to be very hard to overcome for the blue team. Punk and Rigel, the newly formed Bloods, Punk's, you know, faction. And right now, wow, Valinor did get taken out, and Punktronica and Rigel are starting to move their units up. Punktronica with that Osprey is able to heal very well, and Rigel they're still trying to get their units out there. And Boomhower with the T99s is spraying them fairly well. There aren't that many artillery firing into this right now. There is just this line of 3 right here, and they are getting direct hits on this group of units. And Valinor and Boomhower right now just, you know, saving up their units, saving up their money, trying to just mass up more units. It is a 113 to 138 advantage for blue actually, but green does have the map control and economy advantage. So as you saw there, Valinor was replacing moneymakers for generators and selling off those moneymakers. They will be starting to mass up more units, especially because they will be a little short-handed because of this extra map control that they need to keep. And right now, the Jackal drop was rejected by Rigel, finding Valinor in that move. and Valinor is forced to cloak away. Punktronica trying to find him, but Valinor is walking away on the ground with cloak, but now is running out of energy. Rigel has him pinned down, and does he does not, he is not able to get him before he gets back to base. Wow, that was very, very quick. And right now, the typical shooting toward the opponent while you're doing your quick scouting runs. Valinor again with the Jackal drops. This is looks exactly like what Tanji does quite often. But this did kill a leveler, but Rigel will probably be able to take out Valinor here, which he does. He was under fire from those Seekers, and now the client is going kind of crazy, trying to figure out where to go. It was going from Valinor to rigelglen. Upkeep has stayed very constant. It is 103 to 129. It's not been there hasn't been any major swings. And Valinor again with Jackals. Right now, this time they do not see it, and he is sending them to capture. But at this moment, there are too many armadillos over here, and they are positioned properly on this side of this outpost. Actually, there are some on the other side here for blue team. And Rigel once again having to deal with another Jackal push. I'm pretty sure those were sent as well. But Valinor here is a little overextended, does get taken down in the process, and these Jackals will get taken out. That leveler still has not been replaced. That Sokka unit over there on blue's side is still empty. And Punktronica having the Osprey advantage with this artillery war. There are 3 firing in here, and right now for green there is only 1 not actually even facing unit to go through to attack. And there are much more artillery over here for green, or for blue team, and there is just a quick exchange of fire here between each team, and there are units going down on blue's side, although many of them seem to be infantry. Or on green side, actually. And right now, Rigel, with a quick infantry drop, does lift off before Valinor gets that EMP on him, so he is able to get away there. And Punktronica finally taking some creeps to enforce this, or to bunker here, to further guard that outpost. And right now Valinor is doing another sneaky quick thing. He did get that moneymaker killed. He is getting this other moneymaker. Will probably get it before Rigel gets here to save it, and he does. Now Valinor is stuck here, is being a little pinned down by Rigel. There are armadillos shooting at him, and he is not able to really get away. He has the cloak, but Rigel will chase him down here. Valinor does a quick Viking dance up and down, and Rigel will not be able to get him before he gets back to the middle outpost. And Punktronica just continually doing this arty war, has Berthas out finally that they have hit level 6, and right now Valinor again going for the moneymaker harass, does kill that one in time. They probably need to have a little bit more anti-air over here just because Valinor has just been doing so much harass. That pretty much is the only way to get around it, except for just having so much more map awareness and mini-map watching. But it's very hard to do that, especially since there's so much battle going on, and even if you notice, a lot of times you can't afford to leave the battlefield to be able to respond to these little harassment tactics, which do actually add up in the long run greatly. And Rigel does almost go down right there, but he is able to get out of there in time. Valinor doing a quick dance around here. Punktronica very low on life, but will not get killed. He is pretty far back behind his own lines. And Valinor actually does get taken down by Rigel. And Rigel dropping down here, probably hit the EMP just now, and is cloaking away, and will get away. Boomhower is not able to chase him out with the predictive shooting there because of the full cloak. Now Valinor comes back to the battlefield, and now Punktronica is starting to look at all those Berthas. There are right now 4 Berthas on the field for Punktronica. These two are kind of facing a weird area, and yeah, but they are shooting this Bertha line over here. They are shooting toward them. There are so many specs right now, and they are all at different timestamps right now, but everyone is talking live. Rigel with the pumpkin bombs, dropping them in the chasm. That was a misclick, I'm pretty sure. But Valinor killing off this this longhorn that was dropped on the other side. Green does have the advantage. This trench warfare is not stopping. There are a lot of Berthas out here for blue, but it's not really enough to take their side of mid properly. Right now there are a lot of patchers patrolling, I think. No, I'm not really sure what those patchers are doing. And right now Rigel killing or trying to kill off some of those armadillo that were dropped. I think they are set to capture, well yeah, they are set to capture because they are going way over here, and now Rigel is forced to deal with this. He almost gets taken down here by Seekers, and boomhower almost finishes him off, but does not. And there are two Dillos on this side, one coming, but it does get killed. And Rigel having to force to deal with these other two that were sent to the main fort. And Valinor now putting a Bertha on this side of mid. There are three Berthas on this side of mid for green. Valinor does get taken down in that exchange. There's so many Seekers over here, and if you hover over just for a second without and allow those Seeker missiles to catch you, you are a little screwed. There is two Aegis behind this green outpost, so even if they are massively chased by Seeker missiles, that will probably be enough to save anyone that is coming back to mid. But this outpost does get neutralized. There are a few blue infantry walking in, and right now this is going to... No, this has not gone to blue yet. And green has responded, and right now this is completely bulbless right now, especially even when it just happens, you know, when infantry walk in, they all immediately walk out, you know, the bulbs all immediately get unlit just because there's so many units firing at it. And Rigel finishing off a Bertha on this side. Boomhower dropping more creeps that will probably be enough to take mid back. Yes, it is, but how long will they be able to hold it? There are a lot of Berthas firing in here, including a couple infantry over here, but Goliath's now on the field. Boomhower does get that produced. There are 5 more in queue for him, and right now he has a lunchbox. He will put that over here on this side of mid, so this will be able to hold it much better. But Punktronica has so many Berthas, and look at how many Seekers, or not how many Seekers, there are 3 Ratchets and a Longhorn in support, but there are 6 Berthas in this area, and another 2 over here to shoot into this area for the front of mid for green. And so what's happening is, even though green is putting so many units down, they are just getting demolished by all this Bertha fire, but they are able to get a lot of Goliath close to that cluster of Berthas, forcing green to retreat them back in. And right now, that's all Boomhower is doing, producing Goliaths. And Valinor is just spamming the defensive probes to keep this mid outpost, and it is working. They are backing Rigel and Punktronica back toward their southern outpost. And just massive amounts of Goliaths coming out for Boomhower, and it's just so many Goliaths on the field. Right now there are 6. He has 2 more in queue. He is pretty much out of credits though, so there are so many right now that just... Oh, they are gonna, if they might try to push this in, but they have lost a lot of them. There are, once again, a lot of Berthas on blue's side. This outpost has gone neutral, and they will be able to retake it very quick, but I don't know how long they will be able to hold this, especially with, let's see, there are still 4 Berthas over here firing in for blue, and they do have another arty, but right now Boomhower doing some quick harass will probably get taken out in this process, especially if Rigel focuses on him instead of the units, which he sort of is. He tries to do a drop with an EMP, but does not get it off, so, because Boomhower was out of the way, but Boomhower does get taken out by the blue units in that area. And now Valinor producing a lot of Berthas. Look at this. This is a great spread right here. They are shooting into all of blue's cluster of units, and right now Rigel was doing, I think Rigel was doing a quick bombing run, but there is really not enough of a group clustered units over here. These Berthas are spread out really nicely, and Valinor getting off that EMP, but Rigel doing the same thing, so he will be able to lift off. He actually could have cliff walk off there, but he did not. He is forced to cloak, but Valinor does know which way he's going and will be able to get this kill on Rigel right there. Now Punktronica is just trying to do the typical Osprey, heal up all the all the artillery play, but there are too many. There's too much pressure being thrown down onto this side of the chasm for green that blue has not been able to. Like right now, if you look, there are four. I think there are four. Yeah, four Berthas. But there are about the same amount of Berthas on green's side. But the problem is, oh, okay, they have a few more over here, and the problem is green has the position. Green has the ability to spread out their Berthas. They have the ability to lay out less cluster of units, and right now Valinor putting up the defensive hat. It will act like a vision turret or a ward, if you will, and it will help them, you know, catch these quick ninjas that will inevitably happen, especially because it is getting close to overtime 1. It's already 4 minutes and 30 seconds left in quarter 4, and we are still actually boomhower queuing up Armadillo instead of Goliath. I would assume that he would just be queuing up Goliath only, but he is using it for main fort defense. They are starting, will probably you know, at this stage of the game, they should probably be worried about those ninja drops, about those fort drops. Let's see. Right now, they actually blue side does not have any armadillo in their queue or in their loadout, so it's a little bit less scary. But even still, higher level units, higher level mechs. Rigelglen does take boomhower out there, but higher level mechs can take multiple Longhorn, and I'm not exactly sure which level it is for the Neo, but I know, and if you look at Punktronica, is already level 10, has every single point except for creep spawn upgrade into his abilities, and he will be able to do quite a lot of double Longhorn, if not triple Longhorn drops when he gets to higher levels. Now Valinor is a little bit of deep into enemy territory, has to cloak to be able to survive out there, and right now boomhower is trying to move more units on this side of the chasm, but the problem is there are just so many Berthas, and you do have to do it very, very slowly, especially with those Goliaths. And Valinor dropping to kill these Longhorn probably will get to take them out. I don't know what Rigel was doing. I think he was the one that put them there. Let's see if he's able to. He is not able to save them. Valinor takes both of them down. And there are still a lot of units here in front of the middle outpost. Especially those two Goliaths are really holding their own. You can have those Goliaths sit there and not have to heal them up for a really long time. Even though Berthas are under fire, Goliaths have so much HP that you don't really have to worry too much about it. You just have to keep a quick eye on the smoke. And oh, Rigel does not have a hat, and Valinor is positioning these over here, and Rigel does drop to take him down, but he does not get them in time. Valinor does respond very quickly, and right now Punktronica is still doing the you know, artillery maintenance. He is just trying to reposition as best he can, using especially Rigel is on this side very often to be able to get that vision for these artillery, and especially even the map vision. Punktronica does not have to fly over there, but Rigel did get taken down. He does have a quite long respawn time now that it is already pretty late game, level 11. And actually, because of those levelers, even though blue is behind on the map control, they do have the level advantage. And Rigel doing a quick bombing run, doing another one. They are cloak bombing runs, so he will be able to get, and these units are clustered very well. He does see that this patch does go down, so he does decide to drop the MP, but Valinor does not get him in time, and Rigel is able to retreat. Very, very quick reaction from Rigel to be able to get away there, and boomhower quickly replaces this this patcher, and he starts moving the artillery back, and Valinor with a quick Longhorn drop at the front door. It did take a little bit of life out, maybe 5% or so, but Rigel does finish that off very quickly, but he does not reblock the front door, which is something that you typically see a little bit more often, especially in higher level play, just in case for the front door drops that you can't catch. And now much more of the same, just boomhower dropping more patchers, trying to keep all of his units alive. If you look at all these artillery that Punktronica has been placing down, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Berthas, and there are a lot of ratchets over here, a lot of seekers to prevent any of the mech harass. So the problem for blue, though, is you know, once they've started leapfrogging it up, if you look at the terrain here on... Oh, but Rigel doing a quick high-level creep drop here, does take down 2 bulbs, but that will be the extent of his harass, as Valinor does respond fast enough to get those infantry dispatched. But once again, if you look at this area of Chasm, once you start leapfrogging your units up, it's a little bit harder, especially because of this diagonal slant here, and then this opposite slant is on this side. It is a little bit harder to get units spread out more instead of clustered, and Punktronica is very low on life. He is getting pinned down, does get hit with the EMP, and Valinor does take him down, walking down that cliff. And now Valinor and Boomhower have a better chance right now to do something. Rigel is finally back here. He has respawned, and right now they don't actually. Boomhower doesn't have anything in queue, and Valinor just queuing up probes. So they are still on the defensive right now for this mid outpost. And Valinor replacing these. Oh no, that one does get. Oh, and Rigel is coming back with his own soldiers, but almost gets taken out by Valinor in the process. And there are enough defensive units over there to kill those infantry that were dropped. And Rigel again making bombs. He is going to do more bombing, but the Green's unit spread is so good that this is not going to be that effective. And he is forced to just abandon those bombs. And right now, Boomhower just micro-healing everything up. They do not have the Osprey like on the other team, but Punktronica right now is just kind of full-time maintaining all these artillery, just because that's pretty much what you have to do if you are on the kind of the losing side of mid on Chasm. You really have to get enough artillery up to be able to fight these properly. And there are 2 Berthas over here for Green, which will prevent any close to this outpost drops for Blue. And Rigel, once again, just trying to do what he can with his own mech, but the problem is it is very limited, and once again, just like what happened just now, Boomhower picks up that that goalie, and all that time was wasted, that except for that Aegis kill right there that Rigel just got. He will be able to get away. Focus fire not that prevalent in these high intensity battles. Boomhower Boomhower is finally queuing up more Goliaths. I think if it were me, I would start massing up more Goliaths on the other side of mid and just start a push over the bridge. Would kill those bridge units very quick, which actually has happened already. If you look at that, high level creeps OP. But yeah, there are quite a lot of units out here for each side. 170 to 189 upkeep right now, and they still have 39 plus 53 power. So they aren't really starved. Either side isn't really starved for power. They are pretty much, if you could really put it this way, they are pretty much starved for position. They do not have. Neither side really has a position to advance much, especially because of this Chasm doesn't really have too many avenues to to further your position. They do have the bridges, and I admit, at this point I would kind of expect to see one of the teams try to do a over the bridge push, which is kind of something you see fairly commonly, but on these extremely high level games, this is kind of as high level as it gets. Valinor respawning right now to deal with Rigel's harass. He does get that block with the Longhorn, and he is pinning down Rigel, and he does get that EMP off, so Rigel will not be able to get away. And he does go out to that armadillo firing that followed him up to that to the air. And now Punktronica just continually doing the high-level creep drops to the back of this outpost, and it does neutralize it, and these creeps actually are going to start to walk in. But even if they claim this outpost, it will get neutralized very quickly, and Blue does not have too much, they don't really have enough credits to support a large build queue. If this finally goes neutral, they won't really be able to start dropping and dropping and dropping. So the problem right now for Blue is how to get more units in this area, so they can actually start putting more real hard pressure on mid versus just artillery pressure. And Rigel diving right in front of these patchers does take out that Goliath, or was that a Longhorn? Regardless, he does take it out, and this Longhorn is going to deal with this patcher. He does kill it, and Rigel does move it up to the next area. There are no ground defense units in this area, so this Longhorn, it has free reign to shoot anything down here, and Valinor, instead of trying to deal with the Longhorn directly, does evacuate his units out. And now this outpost finally goes neutral again. Boomhower finally dealing with these Longhorn with his own melee, and the mid does go green once again. There still haven't been any real bridge pushes off of this map. I would typically kind of expect that. Boomhower almost going down to Rigel there. Rigel is gonna come in for the follow. He tries to get him pinned down, but that unfortunately does not is not able to finish him off. And right now, there are 3 Goliaths on this side of mid, but once again, even more Berthas firing in. Those Goliaths, even though they have such high HP, there are so many Berthas out here that once they start getting under fire, and Rigel almost going down right there to Boomhower, and oh, he does go down to Valinor. Rigel trying to do the Viking dance to save himself, but Valinor is able to stay in this area to get that kill. And right now we have hit overtime too. We are 15 to 20 seconds in, and green actually has quite a lot of health out. Just because of that Longhorn drop that Rigel did, was able to take quite a lot of damage out. And right now Valinor is resorting to trying to get more life down for blue by doing all these Longhorn drops, and he is doing it fairly well. But the thing is, Punktronica and Rigel are both responding to it. So it's not going to be as easy as it typically is doing just a single drop against another mech. There are 2 very experienced players that will come back and respond because they do know better, and it will be very difficult. Rigel, already level 15, is bringing 2 Longhorn over here cloaked. When will he uncloak? I don't know if he'll be able to reach the base with enough energy, but he does actually, and there is a perfect spot here in the back to be able to drop these Longhorn. And right now, Valinor does come back to respawn, does block with 1, but Rigel starts microing them around, and he is finding holes. And right now, there is a lot of life going down on green's fort, and Valinor is able to finally take these Longhorn down. And will he be able to finish off Rigel? Rigel is almost completely out of energy. He does get that EMP off, and he does get off, does kill rigelglen right there. That was very high intensity. Boomhower just dropping a Goliath right in the middle of all these units. There is another Goliath there to attack with it. Punktronica is not trying to drop and support it with his own fire. And now Boomhower doing another, this is a double Dillo drop. He does find the front door, but Punktronica and rigelglen are both here, both get the block off. Valinor trying to do what he can, drops the Longhorn on the corner, but does get taken out in the process, and they are doing an extremely good job blocking against these ninja drops, or fort drops from green. Even with both of their, green players there, it was just really hard to get that, that defense off, or that offense off. And right now, this outpost did get neutralized. There is a Goliath right on the front here, and Rigel is doing another drop. Does take a lot more life out, and if I were green, I would spend a little bit of time trying to make a better wall around this outpost, especially concentrating more units over here. But they actually are probably behind at this point, even though they have the map control, or at least had the map control, and probably will once again. Their fort health is going down so fast, even though it's not as fast as blue. And Punktronica does take Valinor there, does take him out before he gets back to his outpost, and Punktronica now has 2 Goliaths over here in mid, and they are taking the bulbs out so fast. The infantry are just trying to distract them, and rigelglen doing another cloaked Longhorn drop. This still won't be seen, and I don't know if, well, Valinor is going to respawn now, and Rigel is finding so many holes. This will probably go to blue if green doesn't either block more or do quicker drops. Right now, it is going to be green's game to lose, or I mean, regardless of how you want to put it, the green is behind, and wow, it's just and Punktronica coming with a Goliath on the other side of mid. Now this is a completely neutralized outpost, and so the fort health will drop at the same rate. Rigel is respawning. He is queuing up another Longhorn, but he is trying to deal with this harass from Boomhower. Boomhower is trying to take this outpost, and if he neutralizes it, it will go, their fourth health, or their the blue's fort health will go down slightly faster, but green has so little life left, and Punktronica coming over here, getting really good position on mid. There are not many green units left over here, as you see that both green players have been taken out. Rigel doing a quick drop here to take out the rest of green's life, and that is GG. Rigelglen and Punktronica. Punktronica going on a killing rampage here at the end. Rigel and Punktronica do take this game from Valinor and Boomhower. This is RUI, and that's game. See you next time.